Let's plot the graph of y equal to x square plus 2x minus 3. For x equal to 0, y will be 0 plus 2 into 0 minus 3, that is minus 3. If we put y equal to 0, solve this quadratic to get the values of x as 1 and minus 3. So these are the 3 points that we have got: 0 comma minus 3, 1 comma 0 and minus 3 comma 0. Let's plot them. This is 0 comma minus 3 on the graph, 0 on x-axis and minus 3 on y-axis. Then we have 1 comma 0 and minus 3 comma 0. So our graph will go like this. It will pass through these 2 points, and to go through the third point, it will have to turn and go upwards, something like this. Now there will be some point on the graph which will give the lowest value of this quadratic function. This point, the lowest point on the graph, is called minima, and we'll talk about maxima and minima in detail in function topic. This minima, as you all know now, it could be calculated by x equal to minus b by 2a, that is minus 2 by 2 or minus 1. Now either put this value back in original equation to get y, or you can use y is equal to minus d by 4a. So y will come out to be minus 4. So we have got a new point to plot now, minus 1 comma minus 4, this one. Right now our curve is not passing through this point, so let's make it pass. This is the graph of x square plus 2x minus 3. To find the slope, we will have to draw a tangent at any point and then calculate tan theta. Now this tangent changes its angle at different points, so there cannot be an overall slope for this curve. Only slope at a particular point can be defined. At minima, tangent will be parallel to x-axis and slope will be 0. Now if we multiply our quadratic expression x square plus 2x minus 3, if we multiply this by minus 1, we will get y equal to minus x square minus 2x plus 3. Now its graph will look like this. Here, the topmost point, the peak of the graph, is called maxima, and to get that point at which the maxima occurs, apply the same formula, x is equal to minus b by 2a. The same formula gives minima as well as maxima for quadratic function. Now our graph is opening upwards while the other graph is opening downwards, even when the roots are same. This spacing of graph could be predicted directly by looking at the coefficient of x square. In the first case, coefficient of x square is positive, it is 1. Whereas in the second case, it is negative, minus 1. So for a general quadratic function, y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, if a is positive, the graph opens upwards. And if a is negative, the graph opens downwards. Another important thing, if this is the graph of function ax square plus bx plus c, then this is the part where f of x is greater than 0. And this part is where f of x is equal to 0. And this is the part where f of x is less than 0, right? Now let's talk about nature of roots. This is general form of quadratic equation whose roots are alpha and beta. Alpha and beta are values of x at which the equation becomes 0, right? They are given by minus b plus minus root t upon 2a, where d is the discriminant, is given by b square minus 4ac. Now discriminant plays an important role in telling us what type of roots does the quadratic equation has. D could fall in any of these three regions: less than 0, equal to 0 or greater than 0, right? Any number could be less than 0, equal to 0 or greater than 0. If D is less than 0, that means, look at the formula, the value inside the root sign is negative if D is less than 0. This only happens for imaginary numbers. So for d less than 0, the equation has imaginary roots. And imaginary roots always occur in conjugate pairs. If one root is p plus iota q, then another root will be p minus iota q, where iota is imaginary unit given as root of minus 1. If d is 0, both the roots will be equal. Simple. Put d equal to 0 in the formula. Alpha and beta both will be equal to minus b by 2a. So we get rational and equal roots. If d is positive, we get two distinct roots, but we can still make two categories out of it. If d is perfect square, root d will be an integer if d is a perfect square, and the value of alpha and beta will be rational. This is important. If a question says that certain quadratic equation has rational and unequal roots, then the first thing that should come to your mind is discriminant will be of the form k square. D would be a perfect square. Now if D is not a perfect square, then square root sign will be there in alpha and beta. Roots will be irrational, and irrational roots again occur in conjugate pairs. If one root is p plus root q, then another root will be p minus root q. Let's look at graph for these conditions. This graph is opening upwards. This means a is greater than 0. Now suppose this graph is cutting x-axis at 2 points. These 2 points, alpha and beta, will be the roots of this equation, and the discriminant will be greater than 0 for real roots. Coordinates for this point, that is the minima of this equation, minima of this graph, will be minus b by 2a comma minus d by 4a. Now instead of cutting, if this graph simply touches x-axis, then both the roots will be equal and will lie on this point only. Alpha is equal to beta is equal to minus b by 2a. Even the minima will lie on this point only. And for this case to happen, the discriminant has to be 0. Last case, if the graph doesn't cut anywhere on the x-axis, then the roots are imaginary. There are no real roots in this case. D will be less than 0. Again, this point will be minima given by minus b by 2a comma minus d by 4a. If the same graph is drawn like this, opening downwards, the three cases will remain same. Only a will be less than 0 if the graph is opening downwards. Now one last thing that I want to discuss is the changes in graph when value of coefficients of x square or the coefficient of x or the constant term are changed. This is the graph of y is equal to x square. You can see here the coefficient of x and the constant term are 0. Now let's change the constant term first. We all know what will happen. If I increase this constant term, a constant value is getting added to all the y coordinates. So the graph will move upwards on the y-axis. And if I decrease the constant term, the graph will move downwards on the y-axis, right? Okay, now let's change the value of a. On increasing a, the graph becomes narrower. And on decreasing a, it becomes wider. Till at one point, it changes to a straight line. You can see here, the value of a becomes 0. So this x square term gets eliminated and we get a linear equation, and that is the reason why at a equal to 0, the graph becomes a straight line. And when we decrease a further, the graph will open downwards. Next, we will change the value of b. As b changes, this graph will move in a curve, and this curve is nothing but a parabolic trajectory. This graph will take a parabolic trajectory. The shape of a quadratic equation graph is a parabola only, and on changing the coefficient of x, it moves in a parabolic path. Okay. So this is how the graph of a quadratic equation changes on changing A, B and C. Just wanted to give you an idea. That's all for this video. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.